Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting adventure in Coarse Gold, California as we play Freddy Pharkas, Frontier Pharmacist. I want to apologize just a bit for the audio quality in the last video. My voice was a little bit scratchy. I think the microphone that I was using was a little bit too close to my mouth. I always have problems with my with balancing out my audio levels when I make these videos because you can't really tell how the audio sounds when you're recording. It's kind of hard to tell, and knowing exactly where to put the microphone is kind of an inexact science. So you'd think by now I would know not to keep the microphone too close to my mouth, but still instinctively I try to do so because I'm always worried about my voice being too faint. I worry that if it's too far from my mouth, then my voice will be too quiet. But anyhow, I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit better this time. I've moved it into, I think, what's better position. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. So yeah, the big development is that these horses are now producing a lot of methane gas that's going into the air. So what we can do is, I guess the first thing I'll do, Thomas Fox mentioned in the last video that I should remember to talk to the banker. Let's go ahead and talk to P.H. Ballins here at the bank.
Say, it was too bad about your pharmacy being shut down. Must be hard to lose a business so sudden-like. We here at the Bank of Bob sympathize. Do you want to sell me your property? You won't regret it.
So we have two options here. We can say, obviously, yes, we want the money, or no, we're not willing to sell out and give up our dreams of herohood. I think we click this. Yeah, nothing happens. The game just continues. But if you click on him again and choose this option.
So, before he hardly got nowhere, Freddy sold out to the banker and walked out of Coarse Gold with enough cash to start a new life somewhere else. Nah, we don't keep in touch no more. I kinda resent the guy, him selling us all down the river and sich. We all had to give up our property after that. For all I know, he died in a pharmacy, and good riddance to him. He was never nothing special anyway. I forget why I even brought him up.
Slightly different death music there. Most of the death music for the game is the kind that we've heard before, but there are a couple of sort of custom ones, and this is one of those. I think that's... Is that I'm in the money? I'm in the money. I'm in the money. Anyway, so yeah, what exactly is going on here? Once again, we sort of see this kind of somewhat sinister or conspiratorial sort of thing happening where apparently there's this effort to kind of get everybody out of Coarse Gold. You've got the sheriff who is shutting everybody down and closing down businesses on, you know, this flimsy pretext of the buildings being a fire hazard, even though every building in the town is made of wood, except for the sheriff's office, I think. And then, you know, you've got the banker who's basically trying to get the deeds, like he's trying to get the property. And Whitland Willie just mentioned as well, we all had to give our property because the bank wants to get everyone's property. Why are they so interested in all this property? Why are they interested in taking possession of Coarse Gold if it's just a tiny little town with nothing in it? Like, why do they want to... What's so important here that they want to own everything in the town? There must be something going on here. All right, let's see. So that's that. And one thing you might have noticed, if you're observant, or perhaps even if you're not, while we were here just going to the bank, Smithy's blacksmith shop closed. Smithy has truly left town for good. You know it does no good to close the barn door once the smithy's gone away. But what can we take from his absence? It looks like he's left some stuff behind. He left behind a coil of rope. Okay. Well, those of you who have been playing adventure games for a while know that rope is always useful to have. I think in King's Quest V, the description of the rope is, a good sturdy rope is always a good thing, or always a useful thing to have. So, you take the rope. Now that Smithy's closed up shop, he won't be missing it. And what else? Is there something here next to the rope? A length of leather bridle hangs on the smithy's door. Okay. You take the leather strap. Smithy won't be needing it now, wherever he is. And what about here? Smithy's once proud forge is cold and dark. Digging through Smithy's formerly white-hot forge, you find an unused hunk of charcoal, which you decide may well be of use to you. So we got 3 things from there. We got this this charcoal. Don't forget to wash your hands when you're finished playing the game. And down here we have a leather strap. Your mind reels with the possibilities. I don't know if that's... Is that a reference to bondage or something? Oh, anyway. And here's a hank of sturdy rope. Give yourself enough of it and you'll lynch yourself. Oh, and here's that money that Smithy paid us. $4.87. Smithy's tab paid in full. That's nice. So, of course, we can click different things around. Philip doesn't want any money. He just wants your love and respect, even though he's dead. You've always wondered about Philip. Don't type your money in long-term investments. Ah, trying to make a money belt. Very clever. Also very unnecessary. The latter blushes as you offer it money. After all, it's so used to being stepped on. Play Mr. Moneybags then, won't we? I'm just, as usual, clicking things on each other to see if I can get some funny responses. Yeah. How does a door key spend it all in one place? Alright, well. Yeah, alright. Let's see. There's no point in rubbing charcoal over the ice pick. No point. Get it? Point? It's funny. Because point. Alright, it wasn't very funny. Let's see you do better. There's no need to discuss the trash key. Nobody knows you stole it. You use one piece of charcoal, another piece of charcoal. Now they're all dirty. Alright, Oh, I think this is a, yeah, you rub the letter with charcoal in order to see what was written on the sheet of stationery above this one. You do a very nice job of smearing soot all over the letter. Apparently those quill pens just don't press hard enough to make much of an impression. That, I think, is a, actually, if you do this in reverse... Yeah. What do you think you are, an amateur detective? Rubbing the letter with charcoal to see what was written on another sheet of stationery? Well, it doesn't work! So go back to journalism school, Laura Bow. Yes. Let's see. Oh, that's a bit of a hint. The leather strap won't fit in the tin can, at least not yet. These 2 items do go together, just not yet. Strapped for cash. I think that would be a very clumsy batarang. Yes, that would be... That would indeed be the clumsiest of batarangs. Alright. What? Okay. I don't know. I probably should be getting back to the game and not spending time on this, but I'm just kind of... Can't make a telephone by touching go up to the tin can. Maybe in the sequel, okay? I promise. There was no sequel to this game. Alright, anyway. Alright, let's see what people have to say about this. If we walk around and talk to people for a while, let's see if anybody has anything to say about the horses. Sam, don't let anyone go out on the street till I give you the say-so. The town's being smothered in horse gas. I don't know how it's happened, but I'm gonna do something afore we all choke to death. Yeah, I thought somebody'd burnt some popcorn or something. Silent but deadly for sure. But don't worry about my customers, Fred. They're not going anywhere. Doc, what do you recommend for extreme flatulence?
Raw vegetables, beans, and pizza usually do the trick for me.
I think he misunderstood our question. He appears to have understood the question as what do you recommend to cause flatulence, not to alleviate it. Oh, here are the ladies of the town all congregated in here. It's Penelope. Just look at the way she sits at that table and eats and talks. Isn't she simply dreamy? Quit making fun of my sweetheart. You're not the boss of me. This is Sarah Hardburn, the director of the local community theater. She's doing some power clutching, massacring several cheese Danish, numerous cups of cappuccino, and 3 or 4 reputations. And this is Charlotte Russ, one of the local gossips, stuffing her face with desserts, some sort of sponge cake and whipped cream monstrosity. It makes your arteries seize up just looking at her. You poke her in the shoulder pad. Ew, it's all mushy and bloated. Charlotte doesn't even glance at you, she's too busy talking with her mouth full. I was trying to click on Penelope, not the table.
Frederick, please, not in front of Mom.
Poke Sarah in the back, but she doesn't stop talking for a moment. What concentration, what dedication, what a mouth. Howdy, Sarah. Any big productions planned this season? She ignores you, apparently she doesn't like to be interrupted in mid-slander.
Hello, Mrs. Russ. That sure is a lovely dessert you're wearing today.
You only hear garbled. Penelope, be careful. For some reason, the horses in town are expelling huge quantities of poison gas. It's not safe outside.
My hero! I'll stay inside until it's safe. Thank you, Freddy. You may have just saved my life.
And she coyly adds,
I suppose I'll have to find a way to repay your kindness, if that's all right with you.
Why, sure. I mean, wow. Hot dog, Penelope. Sounds good.
Freddy Pharkas, look what you brought in with you. What's next, honestly?
Mom, you better keep everyone inside till I can get this horse flatulence thing straightened out.
Not that it's any of your business, but I'll be keeping my customers in here as long as I can. Of course, if they keep ordering weak tea and Uwana biscuits, I'll toss their butts into the street. Can't make any money selling tea and frickin' biscuits.
Hop Sing, I just want to warn you not to go outside, and not to let your customers go outside till we've cleared the air.
We having big argument or something?
No, not that I know of.
Then why need to clear the air?
Never mind. Go outside all you like.
Thank you for kind permission.
I always thought that was rather amusing. Go outside all you like. Thank you for kind permission. Alright, let's see if Whitland Willie has something to say. Hey there, Willie.
It's Whitland Willie to you, son. Respect your elders.
Sorry.
Forget about it. Just get out of here. I'm Whitland.
Alright, he does not have anything to say about the horses. What about Salvatore? I don't suppose he's an expert on flatulence, but maybe he knows something. Sal, all hell has broken loose.
What's the problem, Freddy, me lad?
The sheriff shut down Smithy, then he shut me down too. Some crap about being a fire hazard.
Say it ain't so, Freddy.
Afraid so, Sal. And if that weren't bad enough, the whole town's being gassed by flatulent horses. Someone must have poisoned the horses' feed.
Tell me about it. I've been stuffing hair at the door jam trying to keep the stench out. You gotta do something, Freddy.
But I'm just a pharmacist.
Yes, and the horses, they just have gas, right? So do something about it.
Okay, I'm thinking. What about the sheriff? Surely he, as the face of law and order in this town, has some... Well, actually, he doesn't really seem to be very diligent, but maybe he has something to say. Sheriff, do you aim to do anything about the flatulent horses out there?
Not much I can do, Farquaad. You can't go around plugging up the horses. They'll explode. We'll just have to sit tight till they get over it.
But the town will be gassed to death by then. We've got to take action now.
I am taking action, boy. I'm catching up on my office work. Can't go outside anyways till this whole thing blows over. Yuck, yuck. I made a funny there. Blows over. Get it? Get it?
You're a big help.
That's what I'm here for, boy.
Okay. Obviously no one knows anything about the horses. At best they know that the horses are flatulating, but they don't appear to know much about what we can do to resolve that issue. Well, let's see. You might have already had this thought, especially if you've played the game before. What does the modern-day Book of Health and Hygiene have to say about this matter? Let's take a look. So if we scroll down here, like I think I mentioned before, the first half of the guide is dedicated to medications, But down here, here's the second part, which is about conditions. So here you have, hold on, let me move this down a little bit. We have acne, broken bones, bruises, burns, choking, colds, and influenza, constipation. It's kind of the opposite problem of what we have. Well, I guess the opposite is diarrhea. Yeah, diarrhea is here as well, but there we go, flatulence. Properly treating flatulence, whether in man or beast, requires diagnosing the source of the offensive odor. Obtain a sample of the gaseous matter. Any simple container such as a paper bag will suffice. Place your gas spectroscope, you do still have that old gas spectroscope out in the barn, don't you, in front of a lit alcohol lamp or Bunsen burner. Burn the gas on the flame and observe the spectre readout. Compare the readout to the tin type below and treat with the appropriate solution. So basically what we need to do is get a sample of the horse's gaseous emissions, and it says a simple container such as a paper bag will suffice. Well, we do happen to have a paper bag from the general store that we took, or from the mercantile company or whatever it's called, and yeah, and we have that gaseous spectroscope and the alcohol lamp in the lab, which we can use to burn the gas. So that'll give us a clue. That'll tell us what we can do to possibly alleviate the problem with the horses. But before we do that, there's something that you don't have to do, strictly speaking, but to get more points, there's another thing that you can do, which involves making a gas mask. And there are, if I remember right, there are 4 things that we need for the gas mask. We have all of them. Let's go ahead and just very quickly take another quick look out here. And if we scroll up here, there is a section in here on carbon. Yeah, right in the upper left there. Carbon, also known as granulated charcoal. Despite the mess and inconvenience, carbon makes a serviceable deodorant and can even be used to filter some gaseous fumes, such as methane, from air to make it breathable. Cheap and readily available. So yeah, we can use this this charcoal to filter out the gaseous emissions in the air. But you can't just use it on yourself like that. I mean, if you do that, the game just kind of thinks you're trying to use it as makeup or something like that. Actually, I'm curious, what happens if you click some of these things on yourself? Do you get any funny messages out of... Actually, I think I've already done some of these. Yeah, so we don't want to wear the clothes until we have both the whole ensemble and a good reason. Well, right now we don't have either. Let's see... Oh dear. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh my. Wow. Oh.
Too bad about that, you know. Guess Freddy's constitution couldn't handle the noxious fumes that was expectorating through town. Seems to me a man with his education should have known what to do about a simple bit of flatulence, but hey, I'm just a simple Whitland sort of storytelling, entertaining kind of guy. And that's my story for now. Now get along into bed, it's past your bedtime.
I wonder if this is a reference to Bill Clinton's famous claim that he didn't inhale when he smoked marijuana, or when he was in the presence of marijuana smoke, because this game did come out when Clinton was president. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, there is a time limit involved here. The 4 things that we need to make a gas mask, though, are, well, the basis of it is the tin can. The other thing that we'll need, the first thing we'll need then is this ice pick. We use the ice pick to punch some holes through the can. Then we can put the charcoal in the can, and finally put the leather strap on the can so we can strap it around our head. Kind of like a feed bag, kind of like if you've ever seen a horse's feed bag. Kind of ends up looking the same. Before I do that, though, let's go ahead and take these things, and just out of curiosity, I want to see if we can get some funny messages from some of the people with some of these things, because yeah, I'm not going to read all of these. If you really want to see them, you can pause and read them. I just want to get these out of the way so that in case there is a funny message, you always were a strapping lad. Just in case there's a funny message associated with some of these, we can catch it before we lose our inventory items. No, I think we're going to see the sheep again. I hear that can-can theme. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's Sam Andreas' ice pick. Okay. Didn't even realize it belonged to him, but alright. Alright, let's see what else. Yeah, don't think we want to know that one. They sure like referencing that movie. Let's see. Oh! Basic Instinct. This, of course, is a reference to the movie Basic Instinct with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, which featured an ice pick murderer.
You brought down the Bravo!
Whoops. What are you talking about? This is charcoal from Smithy's Forge. I just wanted to see if I could mellow you and age you in charcoal like with whiskey.
Don't mind if I do.
Whoops, clicked the wrong thing.
What are you gonna do with that handful of leather straps?
This is only one leather strap. Strap.
Anything you say. You're the strapping lad around here anyway.
What does it even mean to be a strapping lad? I think it just means to be tall, doesn't it? I guess Freddy's kind of tall. Alright, let's see.
Oh, Penelope does not go in for those unusual games.
No. I was just showing it to you.
Well then, that's fine.
Oh dear, that could have been embarrassing if Penelope had taken that the wrong way.
How quaint. A handful of charcoal. You'll pardon me if I don't take those off your hands, won't you? I don't want to muss my dress.
Shoot, no problem, Penelope. I'll take care of this.
That brand of beans we use. Some coincidence.
I got this can from here. Mom gave it to me.
Oh, impressed. Mom not give all them the tin can to just anyone. Must really like you.
Okay, I guess I'm honored.
Think use karate to chop.
But really? Okay.
Ah, perfect for hibachi. You got hibachi?
Nope.
Nobody got hibachi in Course Gold. Sad, sad.
Alright.
That pretty pitiful whip, much too short and flat.
Alright, let's skip Whittling Willie. I don't want to waste too much time. I realize this is probably pretty boring for some of you folks just watching me try to click everything on everything. It probably gets pretty tedious after a while, so... I just want to see if there's... Oh, I think I already used the ice pick on the barber, so let's see. Oh, and I used the tin can on him as well, that's right. Alright, what about the sheriff, then?
Hey, hey, hey! Trying to stab a sheriff is grounds for incarceration.
I was merely showing it to you.
Well, criminy boy, I've seen ice picks before. Now vamoose before he changed his mind and tossed you in the hoosegow for attempting to aerate an officer of the law. Well, looky what you got. Charcoal. You plan on making a homemade bomb, maybe? Gonna blow up the old abandoned mine or something? Fella can get in a lot of trouble messing around with dynamite. Take your hand right off. Here's some advice for you, friend-to-friend guy. Don't go trying to make no dynamite. Find a peaceful use for that charcoal. You'll breathe easier. Enough said.
Breathe easier. Bit of a pun there, since we will indeed be using it to breathe easier.
Ha ha ha! If that ain't the puniest looking whip I ever did see.
It's not a whip.
You're telling me, boy.
Alright, and the can.
Shoot, boy, I wouldn't give you a plug nickel. You can just go begging elsewheres.
Alright. I think that's that. So, alright, let's do this. Let me go ahead and load the game again, just because I lost a lot of time doing that, and of course as you've seen, we are on kind of a time limit here. We only have a few minutes before we die from these horse emissions, so get the rope, the leather strap, and the charcoal. So, what we do, you can do these three in any order, but I'll just, I guess, start with the charcoal. So put the charcoal in the can, drop the charcoal in the tin can, so now we have the tin can full of charcoal. We can't use the strap yet, actually. The one thing that you have to do first is use the ice pick. With all the precision of a serial killer, you definitely poke some holes in the tin can with the ice pick. Ha! With the ice pick hopelessly dulled and bent by your manly efforts, and with absolutely no regard for the stinking, barren piece of locality laughingly called the environment, you carelessly toss the ice pick away. Alright, that's it. We'll never see the ice pick again. But now we can put the strap in through the can. Like so. You slip the leather strap through the holes in the tin can. You always wanted a feed bag. And there we go. Look what we have now. It's a homemade gas mask. Devilishly good work. And I guess we can... Yeah, this also... The rope would be redundant. It would be redundant, yes. Alright, I guess... The gas mask won't be needing the gas mask in this game. Alright, so once you've made the gas mask, what you also want to do is click it on yourself, because you get points for doing this. There we go. You take a few deep breaths from the gas mask, clearing your head and enabling you to go on a while longer. Why doesn't he just keep it around his head? I mean, he can just keep it on since he's got that leather strap. But anyway, now that we've done that, like I said, that's not strictly necessary, that's just for points. If you're fast, you can just go ahead and do this without using the gas mask. So let's go ahead and get some... Oh, the horse's tail is momentarily blocked, so we have to click on the horse when the tail is up. Yes, it's very possibly the most revolting thing you've ever done, but hey, a pharmacist's gotta do what a pharmacist's gotta do. You hold the folded bag up to the horse's anal sphincter and wait. With reverberating brat, the bag inflates, capturing a sample of foul wind. You quickly twist the bag shut, locking in freshness. Brat moi! Alright, let's go to the pharmacy now. Even though the sheriff said to keep the pharmacy door locked, we don't actually have to do that. I don't know why he said that. I guess that's just, I guess he wanted us to keep it locked, but we don't have to, actually. So, this is a pretty straightforward thing to do. We light the lamp, put the gaseous spectroscope on it like that, and then go into our inventory, and here's our bag of, it's a bag full of something which does not meet California emission standards. Well, what happens if we use this on various things? Alright, let's go ahead and put this on the lamp. Get that. Good idea, Freddy. The spectrum lines on that etched glass viewer reveal volumes to those who know how to read. Alright, there we go. So now we see the spectral distribution, or whatever, of the horse poot. So now we need to come back down here to flatulence, where we had these graphs, and compare that with the image there. It appears to match the last one, actually, because it's got that thin black line on the left and then the two twin thin black lines in the middle. Yeah, the last one is the only one that matches. So that's lentils. Okay, lentils. So the treatment is aminophilic citrate. So now we just need to make some aminophilic citrate. Let's go ahead and get started on that. Let's see. Will I need to use the lamp? I don't think I will. So I don't think you can run out of I don't think you can run out of the alcohol in the lamp in this game, but just in case, let's go ahead and put out the fire so we're not using up the alcohol that we're using to burn it. Alright, so let's make some aminophilic citrate. An extremely powerful cure for temporary non-acute flatulence in man or beast. Maybe created by combining 40 grams of sodium bicarbonate. All right, let's start with 40 grams of sodium bicarbonate. That's this. There we go, 40 grams. All right, and now we want 15 milliliters of furachlordone. All right, where's furachlordone? There it is, that's furachlordone. So we wanted 15 milliliters. All right, and combine in a beaker and then dilute with enough water to make 100 milliliters. Okay, so here's our beaker. Put that in. Put that in. And we want 100 milliliters, so we already have 55, so we'll need 45 milliliters of water. So, here's the water. It does look very brown, doesn't it? Somebody pointed out that the water looks terribly brown. I wonder if that's just sort of the brownness of the wood behind the water bottle that's sort of attempted to be represented in the sprite, although it doesn't really make sense because above the water it appears to be black, so I guess that brown stuff is the water. That's awfully brown water there, but alright. So we wanted 45 milliliters of that. Go ahead and dump that in. There we go. Now we have 100 milliliters in the beaker. Alright, and what comes after that? Oh, now we add 5 grams of magnesium sulfate. Okay, where's magnesium sulfate? Wait. Magnesium sulfate? Is that a, Oh, here we go. Oh, it's this thing over here. Alright, there we go. Magnesium sulfate. There we go. Put that in. I keep putting things back in the wrong place, but that's okay. Stir with a glass rod, pour into medicine bottle, and cork. Mix 1 to 1,000 with water. Okay, so first we want to stir it, bottle it, and cork it. So, go ahead and stir it, and put it into a bottle, and then put on a cork. You carefully label the jar aminophilic citrate. Congratulations, you've just created your first batch of Pharkas deflatulizer, trademark. Alright, let's go ahead and save here. Wait, that's with a T, isn't it? Is that right? It's probably pretty close to right. Okay, so the instructions said to mix 1 to 1,000 with water, so we'd need a very, very large supply of water. Well, conveniently, the horses here are drinking out of that trough, and the trough is certainly not very clean, as this indicates, but still, what else do we have? We're not going to get a huge amount of water from anywhere else, except I guess from the water tower, but the horses don't drink from there. So let's go ahead and put this in the horse's water trough and see what we get. Score. Aha! You carefully pour the deflatulizer into the horse's water trough. The horses greedily lap up the delish and nutrish medicated water.
Seeing as how it's homebrewed, but Tootie's sealant done the trick on the horses so well, Freddy ran around and dumped the stuff into all the troughs in town. It warn't long before the folks at Coursegold was all breathing a sigh of relief. Freddy tossed away his homemade gas mask, kind of ashamed since he'd have made a pretty penny off in the patent rats. Life returned to normal for a short spell, any hooch, until one of the town inbreeds came running up with the latest calamity.
Is the pharmacy back open? The closed sign appears to be gone.
Board up your windows and doors! Lock up the women and children! Run for the border, Louise! There's a stampede coming! A stampede! Hurry up, Freddy! You only got a week and a half before they get here.
A week and a half?
They're snails!
Snails? Snails? Good heavens! This is the worst thing to happen to Coursegold since the Great Hail of Clams back in '83. Well. Okay, let's go ahead and save here. And I guess that's it. We resolved the problem with the horses. So we can probably get to the snails later. I'll go ahead and, I've already been doing this for half an hour. Wow. I guess this is a good point to end the video at. I'm just curious, isn't there a, I'm trying to see if I can remember. Yes. I was reminded of this joke for some reason when Woodland Willie was talking about education. It's Education Lane, which reminds you of a joke. What does the N on the Nebraska Cornhuskers helmet stand for? Knowledge. See? Alright, I thought that was funny. Like I said, I was reminded about that when Woodland Willie suddenly started talking about how Freddy had all his education and you'd think he could do something about the horses. Well, we did do something about the horses. And just very briefly, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the snail stampede, since we were informed that there is a stampede. Oh, hey, it's tumbleweed.
Rollin', 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 got to keep on rollin'.
Feels just like the... Oh, wait, I think I didn't click on the tumbleweed. There we go. And get your hands all full of prickles. Can we talk to the tumbleweed?
It don't say nothing. It just keeps rolling along.
What if we try to give it something? I guess you can't give items to tumbleweed. What a shame. What a shame. Alright, come out here. Oh, hey. What's that all about? There was a... Alright, so that's the snail stampede. These snails are the leading edge of a stampede of imported French escargot, recently escaped from a haughty San Francisco restaurant, being chased by a posse of snooty San Francisco chefs. They appear to stretch to the horizon, and they're heading straight for town. If you don't do something soon to prevent them, they'll slime the entire city. Can I just pick them up and throw them in the river or something? Oh, you grab a couple of snails from the front of the pack while imagining the aroma of warm, drawn butter. I didn't really want to just grab a couple of them. Okay, yeah, they actually show up in our inventory. Okay. It's nice. I didn't actually want to... Oh, I think that's a bit of a, yes. Well, anyway, I actually wanted to pick all of them up. Can we talk to the snails?
Here, snails. Here, boy. Here, girl. Here, whatever.
Oh, what's the use? You decide you'll never be able to train a snail to come up when you call, let alone sit up and beg. Alright, what's with this? Oh, there was a kid here playing with a, toy car. We've seen this woman before? Why, it's Mrs. O'Hanahan and her darling little boy Rocco. The last time they were in your shop, you only lost $17.39 in breakables. God willing, they won't need any prescriptions today. Oh, she's a married lady, and that kid looks like he might bite.
Do I look like I have time for idle chit-chat? Honestly, some people think that just because a woman works at home, she is scared of free time. Well, let me tell you, I don't. I have to... blah, blah, blah. Well, I could just go on and on, but as usual, I'm in too much of a hurry, and a lady never complains about her lot in life. Not that all the...
Alright. I think we'll just ignore that, if you folks are alright with that. I just wanted to see what's up with that kid. I'm pretty sure that we can't do anything with him. I'm very certain that the kid isn't important to any kind of puzzles in the game. I'm just curious, because he doesn't show up very often. And I'm just wondering if he says something, or if we can say something to him. Oh, this is a different kid. This is it was a boy before, but now it's a girl playing with a doll. A child is playing by the side of the bridge. How delightful. Mornin'. Say, I remember playing right by this very bridge when I was your age.
What a liar you are. You were born in Old St. Louis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I listened to the prologue like everybody else. In fact, I can't get the darn thing out of my head. I've been hearing it in my sleep. Thanks loads.
Even during this violent and lawless times, kidnapping is frowned upon. I wasn't necessarily trying to... You think just because I click the hand icon on a child, I'm trying to kidnap them? Let's see, would the child like a snail? This child's parents always said not to take strange objects from pharmacists. Alright, I think that's enough for now. In the next video, we'll go ahead and see how we can deal with a snail stampede, and we'll have further adventures beyond that as well. Hope we'll see you then, folks. Thanks for watching as always, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.